Here to discuss is Fox Business contributor Jonathan Hoenig and Jobs Creator Network Foundation and co-host of Main Street Matters podcast, Elaine Parker. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the jobs numbers over the past few months have been sluggish. Let's put the numbers on the screen for the audience to see. Here now is Kevin Hassett from the White House's reaction.
The reason why they're getting revised so much is that these numbers are based on surveys, and people are kind of not filling out the surveys until the last minute, and so that the share of surveys that have actually been filled out at the beginning of the month is way lower than it used to be.
Elaine, what is your assessment of job creation right now?
Well, Mike, I think right now we can honestly say that inflation is no longer the biggest threat to this economy. Our small business owners are facing the pressure of high credit rates, and that's the real problem here. Inflation has, been slayed, and the Fed continues to think that tariffs are going to bring inflation back, and they're not. Our small business owners, we just have brand new polling that's come in this week that shows our small business owners are ready to invest in their businesses. They want to increase jobs. They want to buy equipment, expand their operations, but they're facing the pressure of high interest rates. And when 2/3 of all new jobs are in the hands of small businesses and they can't access credit or it's too expensive, they can't invest. And that's what we're seeing.
Markets and employers do not like uncertainty. Some are blaming tariffs. Let's play the labor secretary, and I'll get you to react, Jonathan.
Tariffs are working. How do I know this? Because companies are reinvesting in the American workforce. We're seeing the consumer confidence up. We're seeing real wages up year over year.
Jonathan, where are we on jobs in the broader economy?
Look, the jobs number was weak, and it's frustrating to see it, but the fact is that we had the highest unemployment rate in 4 years. And interestingly, Mike, we're in jobs, some of those areas that the president is attempting to, for example, 12,000 jobs lost in manufacturing, about 7,000 jobs lost in construction. So there is the question of tariff uncertainty. And to our other guest point, the wishing for lower interest rates, I guess that's the silver lining in this poor jobs report, is that we are all but guaranteed a rate cut from the Fed at the next meeting. You'll see rates go down as a result.
Okay, the Trump administration is targeting housing costs, and as you mentioned, we are expecting Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, to act later this month. What about that, Elaine?
Well, look, housing has certainly outpaced inflation for the last 50 years, and even more so since the pandemic. I'm encouraged by the Trump administration wanting to conquer the outrageous housing costs. The first step could come from the Fed by lowering interest rates and allowing first-time homebuyers to access some of the credit and purchase their first homes. That is the greatest wealth builder for middle-class Americans, is to be able to purchase their homes. And right now, mortgage rates are very high. Secretary Besson has put forth some ideas that are very interesting to me, and that's looking at zoning laws and accessing and making more land available that we can build on and increase the supply, and also look at the cost of very high closing costs, which we see in different states. So those are all good ideas.
The number of first-time home buyers has hit a 3-decade low, Jonathan. What about housing at this stage?
I mean, the housing emergency, Mike, is one of our own creation. Freddie and Fannie are still under government control now, 20-some years after the global financial crisis that they were at the center of. Interestingly, the cost of a new home, a lot of it is actually being driven by tariffs. There's an estimate out that the tariffs add about $9,200 to the cost of the average new home. So, look, we need more supply and demand. We need more supply to bring homes down. And I think removing the tariffs would go a long way in bringing those prices down as well.
All right, we will see what the Fed does. Jonathan Hoenig, Elaine Parker, thank you so much. Great to see you both today. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks.